Oh, and we are live on the air with the Red Pill News. How are you doing out there? The world. How are you doing, man? I want to know how everybody's doing. Everybody chilling out, having a good time. How are maybe not? Maybe you're in a flood. Maybe some horrible thing happened. I don't know. I can only say what's going on in my own backyard. I know this: the whole world is at like this tipping point. I really feel like there's going to be a worldwide bankruptcy, and that there's going to be just a lot of like between natural disasters causing, when they happen, they cause billions of damage, and a lot of things don't get rebuilt afterwards because they've gotten destroyed and there's no money to fix it. At some point, that money runs out. At some point, governments fold because they just don't have the funds, especially, third world, governments, that type of thing. But even first, second, whatever, money's money, right? Money talks. And we are in an age where there's not a lot of leadership anywhere. I really can't point my finger at leadership in this world. Who's got that solid, firm foundation of leadership, in this world, and where do we find a balancing point with our own country, our own power that be, and not just us, but you have other countries that also need to find that balancing point. So this is the deal. You know what the deal is? I want to start with the big guy. For a long time, people are, oh, the big guy, Hunter Thompson, there you go. Got Hunter Thompson on the brain. Hunter Biden. Very close. Hunter Thompson was a writer, though, not a painter, not a painter. I think they're both crackheads at various times. But the reality is, and I love Hunter Thompson, so don't send me hate mail. Hunter Biden, not so much. Although secretly, he's my hero. I don't know. Did I say that out loud? Maybe I should have said that. I watch what this guy does. He's like the Charlie Sheen of Charlie Sheen's, this dude. You know what I mean? But they've often referenced the big guy because all these cash transactions with foreign governments, businesses, etc., had all come through Biden ties using the Biden name. Joe Biden has consistently maintained he's made nothing. He knew nothing of the business dealings. He knew nothing of anything. Nothing. He knew nothing. You got it? Nothing. But they also reference the big guy the big guy has to get his cut. You got to send it to the big guy and blah, 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 right? So they narrow down the rest of the Biden crime family to these other folk, these other Bidens that have their hands in the game, and they're making all kinds of money. So, but this is what the politicians do, right? They say that they just live off their income and this is what they have, but then they have these secret accounts, offshore accounts, all kinds of stuff. They know how to steal and where to put it, So this is what's going on though with Hunter Thompson's laptop and his phone getting hacked, because this is like so funny that it's the age of technology. And this dude has like documented all of his nefarious activities. You know, I don't know. I don't know. Well, he's a crackhead. You know what I mean? Like, I don't give crackheads any credence, fore or aft. If you were a crackhead, I'm glad you got off the stuff. But there was something inside of you that led you down that path to begin with, to be the crackhead. So yeah, I can judge that. I don't want them around me. Former crackheads. I've only known two, and they both work for FedEx right now, running packages. So yeah, I guess. Good for them, though. You know what? Good for them, man. How about this? Woo-hoo, get off that crack. Another famous crackhead is that My Pillow guy. He's all with the Jesus and the cross and like putting an emphasis on it. Then he like wrote a book on all the times that he crashed out and hurt other people, and destroyed people's lives, but it was all about him and his road to recovery. He was such a horrible person. I don't see these people as worth saving. You know, Jesus said, not everybody's worth saving. That was like the rest of the sentence, you know. They always said, and by the way, and BTW, not everyone is worth saving. And Hunter Biden is one of those characters. The My Pillow guy is another one of those characters. In the real world, they would have been pushed into a volcano a long, long time ago. The same for all the people out there committing crime, stabbing, shootings, robberies, and whatever. Now you have the Democratic Party coddling these people, letting them go, making all kinds of excuses of why they should be out and not in. You know what? They're dangerous piece of crap criminals that deserve nothing but the sword. And let me say that as plainly as I can. They should get pushed into a volcano along with the My Pillow guy. Yeah, man, those pillows suck, ripping people off. Ever see the commercial for those things? And like, you know, inside the pillows, there's all these little bits that look like crack going in the pillow. And I wonder where we got the idea from. Little bits. My little crack pillows. One day I'm going to make them into real pillows and sell them to people. Soak them with crack. So people get addicted in their sleep. I'm just kidding. I said, but I did have those pillows. I mentioned that I needed pillows for Christmas one year. My mom got me those pillows. And I was like, all right, I'll try, you know. And then they kind of had a funky smell. You know what I mean? And I'm weird about anything like that, especially that. And put them in my pillowcases, whatever. It was fine. And then not long after I washed them and I followed the instructions, when it came out, they really smelled. They were nasty. Contacted their customer service. I'm like, you know, my pillows smell. You know, they're like, you know, well, we don't get on to help you. Right, dude, and or madam, whatever your deal is. He just yelled at me in 3 different languages. And I'm just telling you that they smell. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm debating over everything and everything. My Pillow guy. He looks like Kid Rock. When I see Kid Rock, I actually thought they were the same. I thought maybe Kid Rock kind of went into the pillow business. You know, crackhead pillows. Kid Rock. Like that kind of all connects for me. You know what I mean? So all right. One of Hunter Biden's former business partners referred to Joe Biden as the big guy in a panicked message the same day the Post broke news of the infamous laptop from hell left behind by the president's son. You imagine one of Trump's sons? I mean, I don't like those guys anyway because they're kind of like sycophant robots, you know. But can you imagine if one of those dudes, like, did anything? like did like did anything? They were just doing business as normal with hotels, and like the media was on oh my God, they're making money. Evil, privileged bastards. The ones calling them privileged bastards were the same white privileged bastards at CNN and whatever on air making tons of money, calling people privileged bastards, but they get into the limousine at the end of the night, go back to their mansion. Why is it always people that do that? Privileged bastards. Matt Damon, he's another one. You're privileged. I'm privileged. Don't worry about paying my bills. If that's privilege? I don't know. I don't know what's lower than that, and I don't want to go there. But when you're on your yacht and you're sending out text messages about other people being privileged, sounds like a bit of hypocrisy going on there. So this is the deal. Hunter Biden. James Gillard, a former British Special Forces officer with ties to the UK intelligence services, discussed a post-exclusive report with an unnamed person on October 14th, 2020. According to the message provided by a whistleblower to GOP congressional investigators probing the laptop because they got to do it because Democrats aren't going to do it. If they're so on the up and up, how come the Democrats also? How come there's no bipartisan effort into finding out what's going on in the shenanigans of politics and the culture of corruption that's become our government the way, not just our government, others too. They function on a whole do it until you get caught. When you get caught, you blame somebody else, or deny it. The Texas sidestepped, right? In the message, Giller, 58 years old, reassured the person that the revelations about Biden's apparent involvement to his son's foreign deals would not be damaging, regardless of the outcome of the 2020 presidential election. Giller was asked if Hunter and or Joe's campaign would try to make it, we were never involved, and try to basically make it collateral damage. Let me get down the important part. Here we go. It says, if they lose, honestly, I don't think that the big guy really cares about that because he's too busy focusing on all the other shit he is doing, is what it says. The identity of the big guy has since formed part of the grand jury investigation in Wilmington, Delaware, into Hunter's business dealings as calls ramped up to have President Biden, who had repeatedly denied any involvement in his son's dealings, including in a conspiracy probe. Gillar had referenced the big guy as he acted as a driving force behind Hunter and his uncle Jim Biden's planned multi-million-dollar deal with Chinese energy conglomerate CEFG. In an email to Hunter, Jim, and other partners on May 13th, 2017, Gillard outlined an equity breakdown in which 10% of the lucrative CEFC joint venture would be held by Hunter for the big guy. There you go. So whatever, man. What does this mean? Well, you know what it means? It means that Biden's a dirty, dirty dog. And we always knew that. And Hunter's his lapdog. And we knew that. And apples don't fall far from the tree. And we know that. So what's going to come of this, what comes of anything? What comes of anything when it's on this level? We live in a lawless society for some. There is a percentage of people that don't have to obey the law, or they just get away with everything, or they got the best lawyers, or they got the most money, and they can just pound courts into hamburger meat when anything happens, or just bury things as it were, right? So this is what we've got. And the politicians out there aren't looking to represent you or I or anybody who doesn't have any bucks. If you got bucks, oh man, you can buy all kinds of stuff. Buy your way in. You can buy your way in and buy your way through it. That's all they really care about. They don't care about you. They care about your vote because it's the vote that gets them in, right? But do they really care about what happens in your life every day? Oh my God. So, D.C. Mayor. Washington, D.C. has been plagued with bad politics for years and years and years and years. There's a few places you can look at that just have terrible political structures. Baltimore, Maryland. Oh my God. They can't. I don't know. I think every mayor gets indicted. People on their council and all that. Detroit, same thing. You get people in there that just are thieves. They're thieves, and they see how easy it is to steal, right? Especially when they're in charge of the money. So this is a different case. This is about immigrants, right? What the Democrats call that they're the victims of the world and whatever, and they're all coming here over the border, and they're letting them in over the border. They let in thousands and thousands and thousands a day, and they're escorting them over and whatever. So now the governors of not California, of course, Arizona and Texas are busing these illegal immigrants to Washington, D.C. And this has been going on for a little while now. So far, about 2,000 buses, so over 4,000 individuals arriving on 200 buses, have come to D.C. since April. Not too many when you think about it. You know what I mean? Is that 4,000 overwhelming in Washington D.C.? I mean, all right. So Washington D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser has requested the National Guard step in to help handle the arrival of thousands of migrants from the U.S. Mexico border, saying the nation's capital has reached a tipping point. 4,000 people, tipping point. 4,000 people, not even a concert, you know? I mean, maybe in a little, not even a concert in a small venue, 4,000 people. So why isn't she crying about the fact that these thousands of illegals are coming over the border willy nilly, and cause problem to begin with? Instead, she wants the National Guard to take care of all this. Very funny who calls out the National Guard or tries to. She can't really. She herself, actually, it would be Nancy Pelosi. She'd be the one. So, all right, these guys are hot footing it. Texas Governor Greg Abbott and Arizona Governor Doug Ducey. Doug Ducey pledged to put migrants on the charter buses. They get a nice bus ride across the United States of America. You know what I mean? In service efforts have now become overwhelmed, Bowser said. We're in trouble. We have 4,000 people roaming the streets of our Washington, D.C. Our homeless services system is already under great strain. And tragically, many families arrive in Washington, D.C. with nowhere to go, and they remain in limbo seeking onward destinations across the United States. Exactly. Precisely. She made the point is that these people have nowhere to go. They have no connection with the United States. They have no job here in the United States. They have nothing, nowhere to go. They come here looking for welfare and to try to get themselves established, but they have no business coming here, in my humble opinion. It's not like, hey, man, I'm financially secure. I'm going to move to this place, get myself set up. I got some seed money, get myself an apartment and a job. No, it's not like that at all. And you don't know who's coming over. These guys come over with no ID, so you don't know who's coming over. If they were in jail somewhere, if they have some, they're wanted or whatever, because we know a lot of them are criminals because they victimize people on the path coming here. So all this democratic encouragement of keeping, having the open border has attracted all of this, has turned on the faucet. You think Mexico wants any part of this? These aren't Mexicans. When people say, oh, they're Mexicans, they're not Mexicans. They're traipsing through Mexico. They're using services in Mexico. So a lot of them aren't even from Central America. A lot of them are from Africa. A lot of them from countries like that, or from Haiti and whatever. They're hop the ship, make their way. But there was the invite, and they all say that Biden invited them. These people are always, they try to play it down. Oh, no, don't come. But when they're talking, yeah, open borders, open borders, open borders. Come on. They know that they're not going to be punished. Their punishment is being handed a check, given all kinds of freebies. So now in New York City, where they're also showing up in buses, they don't know how to handle things. Oh my God, the city, they had to cut their budget. You got Eric Adams, he's running the city worse into the ground than the last idiot, de Blasio. And then on top of all that, they cut the school budgets. There's no money there. The schools, hundreds of millions of dollars a year cut out of school budgets when they need more money, not less. So this is why I say worldwide bankruptcy. You can see the way things are going if you pay attention to it, right? And not even just the stock market. I'm talking about it. Everything that people buy, everything that people sell, everything that people own, what becomes there's nightmare stories out there on these governments that are looking for more taxes, and they're raising property taxes on people. They can't afford it. They have to move out of their family homes they've lived in for generations because they can't afford the taxes. This is what has been wrought. by greed and by corruption and letting people like that run things, you know. So now you have this. You have so Bowser asked uh, for 150 DC National Guard. What are they going to do for these illegal immigrants? They're going to shoot them. You're going to sit there. They're going to give them Pampers. You know, you're going to pass out stuff. And a 24/7 operation in dealing with the migrants. So what does that mean? She also requested the use of the DC Armory or another suitable federal location in the national capital region as temporary processing center. How about the White House lawn? I love that one. How about that? That's what we need, you know, is right in their face. These politicians, these people who are come up with all these lofty ideas, need to see the reality of their words. They need to see things for real. They need to confront people and look into their eyes and understand what they're dealing with. You know, they're way off base. All this lofty crapola about, oh, you know, come over the open border, come to the U.S. and whatever. And all the people who are doing it the natural way, the legal way, you know, we naturalize over 1 million people a year in the United States. You know, it's not nothing. It's not nothing. Over 1 million a year. And then what about those people? They get circumvented from all these others just running over the border. You know, I mean, it really is a whole many levels of unfairity. You know what I mean? So, all right. She said these functions are not dissimilar to the use of the military personnel facilities. You see how fast these hardcore liberals scream for protection, for military, for police. You see how fast, oh, defund the police. Wasn't she saying defund the police? Defund the police. That's the mayor of Washington, D.C. Defund the police. Defund the police. The second a few immigrants show up, we need more police. Send out the military. The National Guard would help us. So yeah, I understand. You know what I understand? I understand that these people are serpents. You know what I mean? They're serpents, and I know who they serve, and I know exactly what's in their minds. They don't even have to say. The more they lie, the more I kind of laugh to myself, like, yeah, I get it, man. You know, because I see people for how they are, and I see that, oh yeah, people are suffering, and where's your elected representative when those people suffer, when they need you the most? Oh, you know what's there's plenty of agencies out there that like to help people, and that's awesome. They're not government agencies. They take it upon themselves, you know. But the government itself is the game that they play with people. It's inhuman. It really is. So now they're calling out. Call out the National Guard. Go ahead. I call out the National Guard for all kinds of stuff, man. We need help. It's a humanitarian mission. Yeah, so okay. 3 days later, Bowser turned her attention to White House writing Homeland Security Advisor Elizabeth Sherwood Randall and Intergovernmental Affairs Director Julie Chavez Rodriguez. Man, that's a title. What do you do? I am the Intergovernmental Affairs Director, Julie Chavez Rodriguez. Just call me Jules for short. To ask them to support their request. We need help. 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 We need help. There's migrants in the street. I don't know what to do. 4,000 migrants. We need help. Help me, Jesus, God, Buddha. Allah, Buddha, Jesus, help. These people get the memo. Oh my God, this is trouble in DC. Call out the National Guard. There's 4,000 migrants asking for food. Oh my God. Please, I am hungry. I want to eat. I solved that problem. You're not hungry anymore, are you? Are you, punk? Eh? Uh, I have great empathy for the very difficult situation, people boarding buses to unknown locations. They tell them they're going to Washington D.C., nation's capital. If they're going to be Americans, that's a good place to start out, isn't it? The nation's capital. So that she's putting it back on the people sending them. So keep them in Texas, keep them in Arizona. What makes you think they can handle them? What makes you think they got a place for them? So you say, come on, come on, come on. You got nowhere to put anybody, right? Oh man. You would think people that are so pro abortion would have a dimmer view on life itself. You would think they'd be the ones supporting the death penalty, and they're the ones, like kind of looking down on humanity. I don't know. It's something I think about from time to time. People are so opposite. You got the conservatives; they want to save the life. You got to have that baby. You got to have that baby. But then, then they don't want to take care of the baby or do anything for the baby. And then down the line, that baby might be on death row. You're ready to throw the switch. You know what I mean? Chunk. Bye bye, baby. I guess a belated abortion. I'd be like, that's a belated abortion. It's illegal. Not in this state. You're in New York, boy. you're in New York. We can abort you in New York up to 65 years old. That's right. That's right. Here we go. Oh, look, and she gives Biden the pass. I know the president shares my empathy. Oh, I gotta do this right. Sorry. I know the president shares my empathy, and I look forward to working with the administration to secure the DCNG and a federal facility to process migrants as they seek asylum and a better life in the United States of America. And they better run for their lives because DC's a dangerous place. That's really it. DC is a goddamn dangerous place, man. You never know when you're going to get it. You never know. Same for New York City. That escape from New York with Kurt Russell and all that. Now he wouldn't even go in there. So things are way worse, right? Those were different criminals back then. Anyway, I've been thinking about that movie a lot, Escape from New York. It really is it's like that, except there's no walls and the crime is out of control. The criminals are out of control. People getting shot, stabbed, stolen, whatever, beaten, bashed, all that stuff. The one thing that didn't bother me, I'm going to get off this DC mayor, just say that she's full of shit. She's full of shit. Yeah, thank you. I'm going to get off of her. And they never take responsibility for anything that they do. You know what I mean? I'm going to support Joe Biden. Really support Joe Biden. He didn't even know where he is. You know what I mean? Have you seen that clip that's out there of him just kind of saying some stuff, and they edited it like 10 or 11 times, and he was like bug-eyed and all messed up, and he's like grabbing onto the podium, like using it to hold himself up. Like, how you ever see people in supermarkets kind of lean on the basket, that they push the basket to kind of lean on there. Just usually people who are like like obese, or they're hurting, they got some kind of issue, and they're using the thing to hold themselves, or they're drunk beyond belief. They just hold themselves up with the basket. That's kind of what he's doing with the podium. So, and he's away from people, right? He's got his COVID-19. They said he tested negative for COVID-19. Oh, whatever, man. Whatever. Positive, negative, doesn't really matter. He's testing negative for his cognitive ability. That's what's happening. But the one thing I didn't agree with in the heist wise, that definitely stood out, and the Robin Hood in my soul. There's a Robin Hood in there, man. Rob from the rich, give to the poor. That's right. Flashy, Brooklyn Bishop Lamore Miller Whitehead defends his lifestyle after a $1 million jewelry heist. So the guy's live on the air doing his thing. Got to Jesus, Jesus, gotta give Jesus all your money. Oh, Jesus, oh man, Jesus, gotta give Jesus, oh Jesus, give him all your money. And this guy takes the money and buys expensive jewelry and a nice house. Why are people so freaking stupid? Why would anyone give this guy $1 for Jesus Christ or whatever you think is for? Why would you? It just shows you how freaking stupid people are. You know, see that thing of that college student, and he was doing work for school, so he started a religion, right, a fake religion, and he got all these people like wanting to give him money and support him and whatever, and he was laughing. Then he had to like really put a stop to it. And when he did, like they were threatening to kill him. That was how he did and whatever. And these people are crazy, man, because they're crazy, crazy. All right. So anyway. This guy's got expensive vehicles. He says it's not his fault. He was targeted in a $1 million jewelry heist, right? Bishop Lamore Miller Whitehead, who's cozy with Mayor Eric Adams. Oh, he's close to the mayor. Is there any surprise in that? Is there any surprise in that? That a guy like that would be close to Mayor Eric Adams? And he's surprised. Eric Adams is trying to elevate himself no matter what. Have you seen all the stuff that he's doing? Especially when it comes to hanging out with celebrities. He lost my support when he started getting into the whole celebrity thing, and he's all about money. It seems like now, and he was looking to appoint some of his so-called friends, to different positions in New York City, and these guys were like criminals. Some of them went to jail for fraud and whatever. This dude, Eric Adams, not your friend, right? All right. Let's see. So this guy is close to Eric Adams, and I'll see you. So this bishop previously did 5 years in prison for identity fraud and grand larceny. Insisted on Instagram as his public displays of wealth didn't lead to Sunday's gunpoint. He says so. He's on Instagram doing his thing. He's got all his jewelry flashing, but he says that didn't lead to him getting robbed in Canarsie. He said, "It's not about me being flashy. It's not about me being flashy," said the Rolls Royce driving clergyman, 44 years old, in a video shortly after three thieves robbed him and his wife in the middle of the sermon at the Leaders of Tomorrow International Ministry. Man, I work too hard. I need to do something like this. You know what I mean? I want a BS religion too. Come on, they're all man-made. Some people got a better spiel than others. Some people threaten people better than others. Nobody threatens people better than Christians. You know, they got real. Oh, there's Muslims too, though. Let's not forget about the Quran. The Quran. But I'm saying there's people out there who are stupid that are willing to give up their money, and they give it to idiots like this. Idiots like this. So he said, "It's about me purchasing what I want to purchase. It's my prerogative to purchase what I want to purchase." Amen. Can I get an amen? Amen for my bank account. Amen for all that money. Amen for people's stupidity. All right. It's about me purchasing what I want. There you go, man. The bishop said he can't be blamed for standing out in the community given his status. Yeah, because he's like the only rich one that, they all have poverty, and he's Mr. Jesus, right? As suggested, his blinged out look could have made him an outsized target. Sometimes when you're, let's see, a known bishop, it's a At the time of the robbery, Miller, Whitehead, and his wife were wearing more than $1 million in jewels, and that's disgusting. That's disgusting. He's disgusting. That's disgusting. And even his own Bible talks about people like him, false prophets, doing all that. So it's more important to him to wear that stuff on his body and not be giving that to the poor, not be helping people out, right? Isn't that what their whole deal is? The thieves made off with a treasure trove of items totaling $1,060,000, a $75,000 Rolex watch, a $75,000 Cavalier watch, a $25,000 Episcopal ruby and diamond ring, a $25,000 Episcopal diamond ring, $25,000 pair of earrings, $20,000 diamond and emerald cross, $20,000 Episcopal ring, another one Episcopal cross, 20 grand, and then 10 grand for gold cross. There you go. There you go. That doesn't add up to $1.6 million, but okay. Originally they said 400,000. Now he's saying over $1 million. So he's probably trying to rip off his insurance companies because that's what people like this do. Yeah. When I see them coming to us, here we go. I'm sorry.
When I see them coming to the sanctuary with their guns, I told everybody to get down. Everybody just got down. I didn't know if they wanted to shoot up the church or if they were just coming for a robbery.
Oh, you can tell by the people. I think these days there's definitely differences between your random shooters and then your robbers. I don't know, man. If I was to classify the groups, I could definitely classify them. The suspects were all wearing masks. They were being COVID sensitive, right? But Miller said he could see their faces.
I saw the serpents in their eyeballs. They took my chain from around my neck. I bought that special with all my stolen stupid money. I call it stupid money because the people that give it to me are goddamn stupid.
There you go. I don't know. This guy got robbed every week. I'd be like, good. He's a piece of crap. A piece of crap, right? But that's the game they play. And Eric Adams is his best friend. Oh, really? Interesting. So, anyway. Let's see. However, these young men didn't know the cameras were on, and we know what car you were driving. The three suspects fled in a white Mercedes. Ooh. Maybe it was like another church, like his competition, and they came to steal his jewelry. Maybe there's something going on here we have no understanding of, right? He saw them change their clothes in the car as he futilely ran after them.
Come back with my jewelry, you bitches. Get back. I want my jewelry. Get back. That's the family jewels. You done stole the family jewels, bitch ass mother.
They took off in a Mercedes. All right, man. Let's see. And he continues.
For you to kick in a church door and come in with guns in the middle of a service while I was talking about Jesus Christ Almighty, what God is going to do to y'all is above my pay grade.
He actually said that. God's going to get even with these guys for taking his jewelry. Oh, my God. You can't make this stuff up. You really can't make this stuff up. This is why the Onion is going out of business. Because reality, someone flipped the switch on reality a while ago. I kind of remember when it happened. I believe it was Y2K. Maybe it was just the Y2K thing, and everything kind of went wacky, right? So let's see. He appeared at more than a dozen high-profile events that Adams attended during Adams' tenure as Brooklyn Borough President, and in 2016, then BP introduced Miller Whitehead as my good friend and good brother at a concert in East Flatbush. At the time, the Post reported that Miller Whitehead was buoyed by Adams' support, which was helped him promote and raise money for the leaders of tomorrow. So Adams isn't just his friend. Adams is intertwined with this guy and his church, and the flow of money coming through. And if you think for a second that a politician doesn't have their hand out, especially someone like Adams, who was a transit cop for a bunch of years, that if he doesn't want some of that nice free money and he wouldn't take it, yeah, really. Okay, let's see. The leaders of tomorrow in Brooklyn, a for-profit firm launched in 2014 that was billed as a youth mentorship nonprofit, right? But the firm came under scrutiny when it claimed to have partnered with the Brooklyn District Attorney's Office, the NYPD, and the Brooklyn Chamber of Commerce organizations. That claim at the time had no ties to the clergyman's group. Not anymore. Not anymore because he's right in there now, right? So this is what you got running New York City. This is what you got. Your religion, Jesus Christ. Did Jesus even have a mule? I don't know, man. I think he was pretty poor, as poor goes. But I'll tell you who's not poor. We got a couple minutes left. I'll tell you who's not poor. Mark Zuckerberg. A lot of people hating on Mark Zuckerberg. A lot of people hating on Facebook. I don't know whether he cares. He thinks that Facebook's not going anywhere. Kind of laughs about it. I lost a lot of people on Facebook. I got rid of a ton of people. I had over like 2,500, 2,600 people a couple years ago at one point, and I just realized, what? I don't really know these people. Even if you talk to them once in a blue moon, or they don't comment on your stuff, whatever, man. I didn't need it. Now I'm down to like 300 some, and at some point it's going to be even less than that. So all the ridiculous restrictions, all the stomping on people, the things that they say, laugh about, things that aren't obscene, things that aren't against other people, not derogatory, just fun stuff, right? And they want to just knock people down. So Zuckerberg's having an internal problem in his company. And, he went on this thing saying he's wants to get rid of the underperforming workers. Any company needs to do performance evaluations, right? Kind of put people to the wayside. But he's a little like he reminds me of a lizard. Yeah, lizard, cold, unfeeling, poos everywhere they go, have no control over it. Right? Mark Zuckerberg failed to conceal his annoyance with an employee who asked days during a meeting, which in which the Meta CEO, keep in company, his Meta has lost money ever since his initial purchase offer, his IPO. Lost money, going down, 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 because Facebook doesn't make money. It's got people, but it's not generating money. And it's how they have their ads, which the more you're not using it, the more you're not seeing those ads. The more they restrict people, the more you're not seeing those ads. So all the people that advertise on Facebook should understand that the company is in the light to punish people and make them make them in some kind of would be criminal for laughs, for jokes. Meanwhile, they have plenty of hackers on there looking to steal your information, right? Fake profiles and all that. You know what I mean? All right. So during a company-wide Q&A meeting on June 30th, the Facebook boss warned a recent market slump might be one of the worst downturns we've seen in recent history as he explained the reasoning behind the cost cuts during the virtual. So cost cuts, they're in trouble. They're in big trouble, and they can't maintain. I'm calling for that worldwide bankruptcy, and it's going to happen within organizations, these companies like this too. During the virtual session, Zuckerberg reportedly appeared visibly frustrated. How could you tell? What face does the lizard make when he's visibly frustrated? You know, you ate that pebble, and now you're trying to poop it out, and it's not working for you. Visibly frustrated type of look. Let's see. So after one Chicago-based employee asked whether Meta days or extra time off introduced during the COVID-19 pandemic would continue in 2023. So Zuckerberg said, all right. That's a millennial response that you're a shitball.
Um, all right.
Zuckerberg said after hearing the pre-recorded question. It's pre-recorded too, so like you don't think they fielded the questions? So he would only have. You see, he doesn't have the heart of a politician yet. It's close. Soon he can screw people pretty good, but so given my tone and the rest of the Q&A, you can probably imagine what the reaction to this is. In the same meeting, Zuckerberg revealed that the Meta would be implementing higher standards for its employees and cutting ties with those who are unable to meet new performance thresholds. You work or die. You'll lose everything, your houses, all your cushy lifestyles. You know what rent costs? You'll be screwed. So work harder. Work harder. Realistically, there are probably a bunch of people at the company who shouldn't be here. Yeah, like him. That's what he said. Him. He's thinking of himself. Part of my hope. Let me go to this.
Part of my hope, by raising expectations and having more aggressive goals and just kind of turning up the heat a little bit, is that I think some of you might decide that this place isn't for you and that self-selection is okay with me. So go ahead and quit, you crybaby bastards. Go to Google and tell them your shit story. F off!
And then he ended it there. Meta has enacted a hiring freeze and other cost-cutting measures as it contends with a major downturn in the market to invest in a costly shift towards the metaverse. The metaverse. That's what he says to himself all the time. The company's stock is down more than 50%. 50%. Way low. Way low go your stock for your company. Way, oh, they trade. Way low go for the Zuckerberg. Come, Mr. Zuckerberg. I gotta end the show anyway. Oh, we're having too much fun, man. All right. Zuckerberg's open declaration that workers were on the chopping block drew stunned reactions by some of the virtual meetings attendees. They'd be stunned virtually. Oh, yeah. Or Bill, are you stunned? Yeah. Wee-haw. But Bill, you just have to work harder. Work harder. You must work or we'll eat your bones. I will eat your bones. The billionaire said the company did not plan to implement layoffs, but had not yet ruled them out either. Oh my God. Did Mark just say there's a bunch of people at the company that don't belong here? One staffer asked on an internal messaging platform. Who hired them? Another employee quipped. Oh man, that now they're all fighting it out like a bunch of Oompa Loompas. You know? Oompa, Oompa, Oompa they do. Mark Zuckerberg said, I don't like you. Oompa, Oompa, Oompa they do. Mark Zuckerberg said, I'll go to hell. All right, never mind. So this is how the billionaire treats people. This is how these guys get away with it. Nobody's gonna call him out on anything. He's as much as a fake piece of crap like the bishop with the jewelry and whatever. They both base their businesses out of stupidity, and people give them money for that. So I'm gonna end the show there. This is me. Well, this is me, man. I'll see you guys next week on the Red Pill News. Red Pill News, Red Pill News, Red Pill News. All right, I'll see you guys next week on this here show. Bon voyage.